The beginnings of law, 2100 BC to 500 CE. Okay. Introduction. Humans are a social species. Prehistoric peoples lived in kinship groups and tribes ruled by elders. Over millennia, as civilizations evolved, different systems of government emerged. Rules of conduct, initially based on customs and religious beliefs, became formalized and laws were codified. In Mesopotamia, now modern-day Iraq, the world's first civilization, Ur-Nammu, king of Ur, issued the first known law code 4,000 years ago. Religion played a major role in early civilizations and inevitably influenced lawmaking. Laws, especially those governing morality or religious observance, were widely believed to have divine authority. According to Jewish tradition, God gave Moses the Torah, the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, which include the Ten Commandments. These laid the foundations of Mosaic law. The Torah and later Talmud, a written collection of Jewish oral traditions, are the central sources of Jewish law. In China, too, rulers claimed they had a divine right to govern. In about 1046 BC, Wu, first king of the Western Zhou dynasty, overthrew the ruling Shang dynasty. He declared he had the mandate of heaven, which could be withdrawn if he failed in his sacred duty to rule justly. Laws for complex societies. Civilizations across the ancient world in Mesopotamia, Egypt, India, China, Greece, and Rome established legal frameworks to organize their increasingly large and complex societies and to ensure the rule of law was properly administered. To trade with each other, nations also needed mutually accepted rules of commerce. The island of Rhodes, a major mercantile power in the Mediterranean, gave its name to the Lex Rhodia, which evolved from around 500 BCE to become the first widely recognized code of maritime law. As nations became increasingly sophisticated, their thinkers began to consider how their societies might be better organized. In China, from the 5th century BC, three radically different systems of governing emerged. Confucianism proposed a return to traditional values of virtue and respect led by example. Taoism advocated the framing of laws in harmony with nature rather than by a ruler's will, while legalism proposed authoritarian rule with harsh punishment for offenses. In the 2nd century BC, after more than 250 years of conflict during the Warring States period, a legalist dynasty finally established order, although its severity was soon discredited. Confucianism became the predominant ideology, albeit reinforced with a strict code of law. From the 5th century BCE, the city-state of Athens had instituted a form of direct democracy where all adult citizens could participate in government. But in his Republic and Laws, the Greek philosopher Plato argued for government by the few, a class of philosopher kings in an ideal state or an initial dictator guided by a wise legislature. He maintained that only those trained in philosophy were capable of understanding the concepts of government and justice. His pupil Aristotle advocated a form of constitutional government by the people and believed that legislation must be in harmony with natural law. India, by contrast, favored a strictly hierarchical society divided into castes as advocated by the Arthashastra and Manusmriti of the 2nd century BCE. Rome and the Church. In about 509 BC, when the Romans overthrew their tyrannical king Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, they established the Roman Republic, a constitutional government ruled by 2 elected consuls. In about 450 BC, the new republic published its first written law code, the 12 Tables, inscribed in 12 bronze tablets, which set out the rights and duties of Roman citizens. As the Roman Empire expanded, the laws were revised as jurists such as Ulpian, but formed the basis of Roman law for 1,000 years. In about 313 CE, Emperor Constantine, a convert to Christianity, issued the Edict of Milan, which proclaimed religious tolerance throughout the Roman Empire, ending the persecution of Christians. In 380 CE, Christianity became the empire's official religion, and Christian theologians could begin to formulate law based on Christian teachings. The early canons derived from disputes about what people should believe were the foundation of Roman Catholic canon law, the body of law that regulates the organization of the Church and codifies Christian beliefs. Canon law influenced the development of civil law in medieval Europe.